We're driving a 2022 Ford F-150 Hybrid. Coming up, we're going to tell you why the Hybrid is better than the Ford F-150 Lightning, the full EV F-150. But first, information explosion! If you noticed in the information explosion, we're driving nearly $77,000 worth of Ford F-150. Yowza! Let's begin with interior.
I like the interior. There's some interesting material choices which give it a lot of style in addition to functionality. There's this real wood, there's stitching, there's like this double layer of leather or whatever.
We did get the leather or whatever package, so that explains that.
Sweet.
Yeah, and you've got the caramel leather here. I wanted to call it caramel, but it is caramel. Now, keep in mind, we're driving the platinum trim, which is among the highest trims you can get. The thing I really like about the F-150 interior is how practically designed it is, like that extra glove box that you've got up top there, the center workspace, so you can just flip this down and you can make great use of it, whether you're an adult or a child. A ton of cup holders. The door storage is exceptional. I mean, the big thing with the pickup truck is the bed, and you know, if you're hauling lumber or like mulch and that kind of stuff, then you know, the bed is fine. But if you're treating this more like a lifestyle vehicle, the bed is a little bit tricky because if you have luggage back there, groceries, it's gonna slide around. So for our purposes, we'd probably want the bed divider and maybe a tonneau cover. If you flip up the rear seats, so there's space under there, so you can store some stuff under there. And then they got this little flip out box that you can use to kind of keep things secure. Just so many places to put all the stuff you need.
We're going to have to get more stuff.
More slinkies. Oh, well, that works out perfectly. We've already got our one. We have to talk about the front seats, though. These are, I think they call them multi-contour seats, but they're highly adjustable. They've got a massage function, which I really like and my daughter really likes. One complaint, this seam right here kind of catches me in the back, and it's a bit uncomfortable. Countering my complaint, these have the max recline feature, which is super cool. I found if you flip the rear seats up, it gives you clearance for this front seat to go back, and it goes flat, and I mean really flat. The bottom cushion, I've taken off my seatbelt, let me click that. The bottom cushion moves up a little bit, so you don't have a divide between the seat back and the seat bottom. You could really live in your F-150 if you wanted, or at the very least take a nap, because life and parenting is so hard. Extended pause. We love you, kiddo.
We love you.
Kiddo, as long as I've got your attention, how do you find climbing in and out of this thing?
It's pretty easy. There's a step that flips up and down.
If you didn't have the step, though, do you think it'd be pretty hard to get in here?
Yeah.
Do you like sitting in here?
Yeah, I can see the road.
Hooray! How do you find, you know, getting kiddo in and out?
The car seat is super easy to install thanks to the exposed latch points. Dimensionally, it fit great, no issues.
Speaking of safety, so the F-150 scores very well in impact, so it's 5 stars across the board, with the exception of rollover, which is very common for a taller vehicle like this. Rollover's 4 stars, but you know, if you're gonna crash a truck, I don't recommend it, but this would be one of the better choices to do so. Active safety, it's a little less stout in terms of standard features, so you have automatic emergency braking is standard, but if you want things like lane keeping assist or adaptive cruise control or blind spot warning, that'll cost you extra. But overall, what do we think? Is the F-150 family friendly?
Family friendly.
Very family friendly. Rear window test.
Hi.
Once again, the other rear window.
All the way down.
All the way down. Armrest test. Oh, this is cool. So I'm in a comfortable 8 and 4 position. The armrests for where I'm seated here come nice and high so I can rest comfortably and my hands are securely on the wheel. And while these aren't plush and there is some stitching here, it's a very comfortable place. It's kind of like a good firm mattress. I'm very comfortable here. I'm gonna go 80% on the inboard and 80% on the outboard. Hey, have you subscribed to our channel? If you haven't, Please do. At 100,000 subs, we're going to review a windowless white van.
And that is coming up in my notes.
That's true. Believe the child. Style! Pardon the brief interruption. Let me thank today's sponsor, Flying Eyes Eyewear. I talk about sunglasses a lot, but sweetie, give them a real quick taste about the eyewear you enjoy from Flying Eyes.
I wear their ophthalmic line, which has the same features that the aviation frames have. They are super flexible. They have thin temples, so they are very comfortable under a headset or helmet, and they have removable magnetic tinted lenses, so they can also be used as sunglasses.
Which we would use if it wasn't such a wonderful cloudy day up here. If you're ready to upgrade to aviation grade eyewear, if you got a prescription and you just like to have the lightest, most comfortable glasses you've ever worn day in, day out, click the link in the description below. Use the promo code Micah for 10% off Flying Eyes.
The first thing that I see when I look at the F-150 from the side is this little swoop that goes down near the windows, and I really like it. I like the chrome accent to it, and I also like how there's an indentation near the bottom of the door that really helps break up the huge swath of metal.
Yeah, I think the F-150 looks like an F-150, and it's not making any major swings. A Cybertruck, it is not. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you will. The pickup truck community can be a little bit fickle where style is concerned. Ford has a pretty good handle on their audience, and they've styled the F-150 appropriately. By the way, this one is antimatter blue. What do you guys think? Do you like the look of the F-150? If you do, if you don't, tell us in the comments. If you're curious what we're doing between YouTube videos, you can give us a follow over on Instagram, In Motion. I've driven trucks for a fair bit of time, and they used to be, I don't know, basic, and this is anything but basic. When you drive the F-150 around, for me, I'm blown away by how quiet it is and how smooth it rides. Now, this one has adaptive dampers, so that helps in terms of ride quality, but it feels plush. As noted in the beginning, we are driving the hybrid version of the F-150, and I'm just gonna floor it. Oh my gosh. Yes, so you get the immediate electric torque, the gasoline engine then comes in, and man, this thing is fast. Every once in a while, if you pay attention, you can feel the handoff of power. You are aware there are a couple of different systems working together, but eventually that just sort of becomes part of the character of the vehicle. One element of the hybridization that I dislike are the brakes, trying to blend friction brakes and regenerative brakes, and you just have this kind of like squishy wooden feel, which I'm just gonna try right now and see if I can come to a smooth stop. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. I'm trying, and that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
But you were trying really hard.
Yeah, I'm just gonna chalk that up to my excellence. But you know, overall, I'm feeling pretty good driving the F-150 hybrid, but how does Sweetie feel? I am so curious. What do you think about the visibility in the F-150?
The windows are big, so that's helpful. Over my right shoulder, it's fine. Over my left shoulder, I wonder if I could manage to adjust my seat pedal combo so that I could see past that B-pillar, but right now visibility is poor.
You'll be happy to know I had the exact same problem. That
Really?
B-pillar really blocks my view leftward, so yeah, that is an issue. So a little bit of good, a little bit of bad with the visibility. You mentioned the pedals though, and that's something I was really curious about. The F-150 has power adjustable pedals that I think are super cool because they allow you to bring the pedals back and get a little bit of space between you and the steering wheel, which means you can get in a much more comfortable driving position and a little bit more safety between you and the airbag. Do you fit well in here?
I do, which is a surprise because this is a large vehicle, it's very tall, and I'm very short. I'm very impressed how well I fit in here.
How does this thing feel driving around our mountain community?
This actually surprised me with how well it turned. It's really fast, which surprised me. And also, it feels like you're driving a waterbed around. The roads here are not in very good condition, so there's a lot of floating happening.
Yeah, it kind of flows, but the steering is interesting. You're at a slow point here, and you're turning, and you'll note This has a variable steering ratio, so at very slow speeds, it takes fewer turns lock to lock to get the angle you want in the front tire. So at the speeds you drive, despite its mass, the F-150 is actually pretty darn agile. For its size, do you feel comfortable driving this thing?
I am shocked. I really do.
I'm getting back in the driver's seat. If you can get over the fact that there is technology in your pickup truck, the F-150 Hybrid has a lot to offer. Great fuel economy, really solid power, capable towing. We'll get into more of that in just a little bit. I like it. Emotion factor. So, is there an emotion factor here?
Definitely. It feels like if you have a lot of hard work to do, this truck is here to help you do it.
Oh, and if you do hard work, you want to be rewarded for that work, and there is an indulgent quality here as well.
Totally.
And I think if you want to project the idea of being a hardworking kind of person, even when you like flip out down the tailgate and you got that workspace with all the numbers, it's like, I could be doing work right now. I just might trim some wood. Is that what people do at work? I don't know.
Some people.
Oh my. Yeah, moils, for example.
Moil friendly.
It's a living. Yeah, I think if you're the kind of person that works hard and wants to reward themselves for hard work, this is a great choice. If you're feeling emotionally drawn to buy an F-150 of your very own, click the Kelley Blue Book listing link in the description below for real vehicles in your area. Remarks! So this is the optional 12-inch screen. They've kind of got a sub area over here, and then the main area over here. Every once in a while, like if you pull up the camera view, it takes over the whole screen, so you can't do anything else. So that's a little bit annoying, but overall, I think the interface here is quite good.
This is a really well laid out system. It's clear, it's easy to understand. I liked using it.
Yeah, you got the sub menus down here. You got some physical buttons up here if you want to activate the camera. And you know, if you're not used to driving a vehicle this size, you'll use that button quite a bit. Speaking of the camera, the 360-degree camera system offers so many different angles. How you can see into the bed. It makes backing up and putting a trailer on super easy. You can see all around the vehicle. Super cool. Another interesting bit of technology is Blue Cruise, and that is Ford's hands-free driving assist feature. On certain mapped freeways, you can activate the adaptive cruise control, and then it'll give you a little icon, and it's like, yeah, you can take your hands off, and you got to keep your eyes out. I wanted to try it. I could not get it to activate. Believe me, I went through and made sure it was active. You know, the vehicle had it all set up, ready to rock. So I thought it might be my sunglasses, because they kept getting a warning when I had adaptive cruise control on, just saying like, hey, keep your eyes on the road. I'm like, I am. My eyes are on the road. And then I took my glasses off, and I still got the warning every once in a while. So I think this particular F-150 has an issue with its eye tracking for Blue Cruise. But I have used Blue Cruise previously, and it works fine. I think future autonomy will probably be more sophisticated, but it's a good move in the right direction. In the beginning of the video, I teased that we were going to tell you how the Ford F-150 Hybrid is the superior choice versus the Ford F-150 Lightning full electric vehicle. And here is how that is so. Tow. A lot of people who buy pickup trucks buy them so they can tow, and the Hybrid is definitely the superior choice in terms of total tow capacity, even though the Lightning has a much higher torque rating. And the range you can cover with the Lightning maxes out at 320 miles, but when you're towing, that drops down substantially. And trying to charge a vehicle with a trailer attached, I'm honestly not sure how you can necessarily pull that off, because there aren't a lot of charging areas where you can just drive on through. Whereas with the Hybrid, you just gas it up and then you continue on your merry way. By the way, max tow with the Hybrid is 12,700 pounds, but you can tow up to 14,000 pounds with a properly equipped gasoline-powered F-150. That is a lot of weight. Speaking of tow, there are so many clever features Ford has for people who tow. Pro Trailer Assist here, where you can basically steer the vehicle with this little knob when you're backing up a trailer. That's a really specific skill, backing up a trailer, because everything is kind of like opposite of how you'd expect. This makes it super, super simple. The built-in scales, so the vehicle knows how much weight is in the bed or on the tongue, so it'll tell you how close you are to capacity. It shows you here on the screen, then it also shows you with the tail lights, which is super cool. Oh, and then also the blind spot warning system takes a trailer into account. So if you're overtaking even slower traffic and you're not sure whether you're ready to make your lane change, the blind spot alert will let you know.
That's really clever.
It is. And now we've reached the part of the video where I do a lot of talking. I'm so sorry, everybody. Let's talk about engine choices. All right, going down the list, there's the base 3.3 liter V6. Then there's a 2.7 liter turbocharged V6. That's the 2.7 liter EcoBoost. Then there's a 5 liter naturally aspirated V8. Above that, there's a 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6. And then you've got the 3.5 liter hybrid V6 that we have here in our Platinum trim. And it varies by trim, but for the Platinum trim, going to the hybrid engine was a $2,500 option, and I think well worth it. And if you're wondering why I didn't mention the diesel engine, it's because Ford canceled it. I think their logic was that the hybrid offers more torque and better fuel economy anyway, so the diesel was a little redundant. Another really cool Ford feature is Pro Power Onboard, and basically it's like a generator type system. So for the gasoline engines, there's a 2 kilowatt version, there's a 2.4 kilowatt output for the hybrid, and then an optional 7.2 kilowatt upgrade, which is the one we've got here. There's like 4 plugs back there and like a NEMA outlet. We live in the mountains in California, which is a double whammy for power getting shut off, and having your truck be a viable generator style backup is really awesome. Sweetie, do you want to hear me talk some more?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the many permutations of F-150, regular cab, the super cab, the Supercrew, which is the one we've got here, which is absolutely huge. My rear seat legroom space is incredible. The bed is offered in 5.5, 6.5, and 8 foot lengths. You got so many different trims, from basic work truck to super, super fancy. Now, normally I would just give a trim recommendation, which is the cheapest trim that will have the features you would regret not buying. However, in the pickup truck space, I don't want to be prescriptive because there are so many different use cases. All I'll tell you is that if we were buying an F-150, we would get the XLT with the 2.7 liter EcoBoost engine with the high package. I think for a modest increase in price, that 2.7 liter EcoBoost offers a huge bump in torque and really good fuel economy. And then that high package adds things like this 12-inch screen, smart key access, which I will not live without, dual zone climate control, and I think that would include all the things you need. The downside is we'd spend a little more than $49,000 to achieve that. Of course, we live in the mountains, so we'd probably want 4-wheel drive, and I gotta tell you, 4-wheel drive on an F-150 is not cheap. $3,800 if you wanna make your F-150 4-wheel drive for that XLT that I was talking about. As for the competitive set, it's the names you would expect: the Chevy Silverado / GMC Sierra, the Ram 1500, and one I'm really interested in checking out is the Toyota Tundra. We should maybe get our hands on one of those and do a little review. Did we miss any remarks? If so, tell us in the comments section. Synopsis! In thinking about the essence of the Ford F-150, it is tough, it's capable, it's luxurious, it's kind of all the things, and it's a little bit squishy. To me, it's the everything bagel of pickup trucks. If you'd like to see more of these kinds of videos, feel free to subscribe. And if you're curious what we're doing between YouTube videos, you can give us a follow over on Instagram. Family, I think we've done a pretty good job reviewing the Ford F-150 Hybrid. Can I have a 5? And a 5. Wow, that was a really good 5. 5. Ding. Really like 5. And you, come get your medium high 5.